Hi, I'm Shannon McGee, strategic business coach and franchise owner with Network in Action here in the metropolitan Nashville area as well as nationwide. And today I have Mike Linstroth with Principal HR Solutions. Thanks for joining me today, Mike.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Okay, so tell me, you guys are a fractional HR company. What does that mean?
Great question. Fractional HR, and most people are like, I don't even really know what HR is, but fractional HR is we can provide personalized, hands-on HR expertise to a company without them having to spend the overhead for an in-house HR team. We can handle some or all of their HR responsibilities, duties, administration, and compliance as an outsourced team.
Okay, so let's dig into that a little bit more because HR can mean different things to different people.
Sure.
So what are some of those things that you guys do?
Absolutely. So legal compliance, right now I-9 verification is, front and center. So making sure teams and companies not only have the processes in place, but that they are being compliant,
Mm.
doing audits for that we would do. Time saving solutions on your normal HR administrative tasks like onboarding, offboarding, performance reviews, policy development, and handbooks. And employee engagement, something that I love and specialize in around retention strategies, doing trainings to boost engagement, communication for managers, crucial conversations, different strategic planning to make sure that the workforce is engaged and lined up with the mission and vision of the company.
Wonderful. Okay, so my next question, excuse me, how would someone know that they need your help? Like when is that it should be that aha moment for them?
That is a great question. And I would say I think it's different for each company, but like if you are a small business or medium-sized business owner and you all of a sudden realize like, why am I spending so much of my time on these tasks that are not helping me grow my business,
Mm,
get new clients or customers, or service the clients and customers I have? That's when you know that you shouldn't be spending your time on that. Someone else who's an expert in that area should be spending that, and you can spend your time on growing your business. So asking yourself those questions of, what's keeping me up at night? Am I compliant? That's a good one.
am I
But also
compliant?
like, why am I spending so much time? I find is another great
Mhm.
question to know. It's time for some HR help.
You know, it's one of the things that I love about fractional is when a company's growing and it's interesting because a lot of folks they're like, I just need to hire for that position, but they don't need to necessarily hire out the gate. They can use your services in this fractional capacity to set up what that role looks like and create that role, for them without the overhead expense yet until they're
Correct.
truly ready.
Right, and we can grow with them, right? So it's like if you were like, "Well, I don't even know what," we could start with a project. We could start with like handbook or policy and then getting to know us, right? And then you see like, okay, we could use these services and all right, that's here at this level for the size you are. And as you grow, we'll grow with you and what we provide can grow in that case too. And I will say this, some companies they might have one HR person on
Mm,
staff, and this might be a medium-sized company. They think, well, I don't need any more than that. I'm already paying this person. Well, we're there to help that person make sure they are successful because they can
mm.
become overburdened with the company growing and the workforce demands growing. And we can be their support to make sure they're successful, that your company also has the HR support and services you need without that overhead and continue again to grow.
I love that because I'm sure a lot of people don't think that. They're like, I got it covered. Yeah, but if
Right.
your person's drowning and you're at
Right.
risk of losing a key employee because they're drowning, give them a lifeline, you
Right, and then
know?
you're gonna lose that knowledge, right? You don't wanna do that. You want to retain that employee too, and we are a
Mhm.
resource, again, even through leadership development, one-on-one coaching, and just a sounding board for that person. Who's HR for HR? Well, we can be HR for HR.
I love that. So what's maybe either some trends you're seeing or a client story that's something to kind of help us continue to wrap our heads around what this might look like?
Okay, yeah, two things real quick. The first is just going back to that I-9 verification. Heading into 2025, that's front and center, and we're getting a lot of calls and doing a lot of audits just to make people sleep better to know that they're in
Mm,
compliance in case someone else comes calling,
yep.
they have all their, ducks in a row.
Okay.
Secondly, one of our clients is a startup, and they've been a successful startup, but now they're looking to 2, 3x the business and operationalize. So we've been able to go in and not just help them recruit for key positions, but also work on their compensation structure and their equity structure for some of the founders to make sure they're going to be taken care of without, kind of taking the business away or taking all
Hmm.
the profit and equity away. So really helping people with compensation structure, helping them get the right org structure. How do we grow? Where do we need these people? Because recruiting is one thing, but really putting together the right org structures that they can
Hmm.
operationalize and scale. That's an HR expertise that's really critical.
It's interesting you say that because I have a feeling a lot of folks, especially in startup mode, don't even know truly how to address compensation. Like they kind of have in their mind, and you've always got those people that are like, hey, the pay should be here, but it really should be here if you're going to get the right people, and maybe vice versa. Like having someone with outside, view and expertise to making a more informed decision because it's when folks start so wrong, like so off, that it's really hard to how do they recover from that. And the idea that you can kind of come in and advise them in the beginning, and again without that overhead, like they can
Right.
get your expertise without having to like have you on staff.
Correct. At most likely a much higher scale, right? And then also, there's really something to be said about, like you were saying, about being able to advise on compensation without us being emotionally attached,
Hmm.
right? Because we're outsourced and coming in as a consultant. Listen, we want to be very relational with you and
Hmm.
really partner with you. But at the same time, we have that little bit of distance that
Hmm.
helps us be really objective to your situation and not tied into those outcomes like if we were within the company.
That's awesome. Mike, this has been great. I know we could probably
Thank
talk for some time. I love this because I think it's something people don't talk about and people don't want to deal with. So they're like, call you, right? And you can
you.
deal with
Right,
it.
exactly.
So
We'll
what's
have
the
those
best
hard
way?
conversations.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no one wants those hard conversations. So if someone wanted to get a hold of you, Mike, what's the best way to reach you?
Okay, so always calling or texting 615. I always have to look 358-9396 or email or LinkedIn. And my email, it's a mouthful. So thankfully it's written here somewhere.
Yep,
Mike.Linstroth@principalhrsolutions.com. I'm kind of agnostic. You can get a hold of me anyway and I'll get back to you.
I love it. Well, thanks for joining me today, Mike. It's been a great time.
Thank you so much, Shannon.